It's been it was a beautiful 4th of July. Welcome in to everyone. Welcome in, beautiful. How are you doing? And how was your evening? Terry, hi, boo. I had a beautiful day yesterday. I'm excited for everything that's about to happen. Hi, May, my Mabel, maybe Maybelline, Mabel, nope. Ma, I wish I could say it. Hi, Glamour Girl. Hi, Still I Rise. My company name is I Rise. Hey. Hi, Portas. Hi, TikTok. Hi, Instagram. Zeta Lady. I'm a Zeta. I'm doing wonderful. Yes, see if I have a tattoo on my body to prove it. Crossing 98 Eastern Kentucky University, Mu Lambda Chapter Number 2, Deuce Club. Hello, Yolanda. Thank you, Cheryl. You guys know you don't have to give me you don't owe me nothing. You don't have to give me any gifts. You can just come hang out. That's it. I don't know if it means it's not as exciting, but you need your coins. Okay. Plus, remember, this is about motivation and inspiration. I like to come share with you how I've sustained. What am I eating? Would you like to see? They're from the plantain chips from the African store. My family's Ghanaian, so everything in here is like African or Ghanaian. They're good. I like them. Look at the ingredients. I know, MPW. Look, check this out. It's only got 2. Did you see that? It says partially ripened plantains and palm oil. Not a million ingredients. 2. It's what I'm talking about. It's not what you eat. It's not how much. It's not that you can't have anything. It's like sometimes if we just make, like, it's late. So I don't want to eat a regular chip because that's not good. So if I just eat a little, it's just a little, not the whole bag. So you see how I'm chewing it real slow. I still have it in my mouth. Which, remember, that's okay. Because if you like to chew and you have issues and you're addicted to that chewing, this is helping soothe and cater to that need while only eating a little bit. So it's about kind of using like kind of like the food itself to help like make the tongue heavy so that you're not having to eat as much as you're eating that small amount. Yep. I like the straight no chaser. Yes, me too. Ice, gum. I used to love ice and gum, but I have on my robe, you guys. I came home and got undressed after a power at church. But I noticed when I was on my weight loss journey that I wouldn't even be hungry, but I would want to chew. I could just be sitting. I'd be like, well, let me get something. And I couldn't like stop it. Like, but now I don't have to, like, I got a Snickers, but I'm not going to eat it tonight because I don't need it. This is less intense than a Snickers, so just eat a few. And, I kind of like play little mind games with myself. I get in here and kind of fondle around and get one out and get to looking at it. And what I'm kind of doing is taking it slow. I'm taking it easy. Understand? I'm trying to take away that urgency to shove everything down real fast. Does that make sense, you guys? So it can kind of cater to that kind of obsession, that addictive chewing that that no one's seen, that I haven't found about it. It doesn't, it's not cured with shots, and it definitely ain't cured with a surgery. So I'm trying to teach you things that help you cure naturally. Okay. But not necessarily cure, but calm it. You can actually calm it enough to help it not be controlling, if that makes sense. Okay. So you go ahead and have that. Now you're going to do that 20 chewing. I know I talk about it, but one of the things we found in our program, working with so many different people, it works really good, is if you can do meat 30 to 40 times and soft stuff up to 20 times, because meat need more chews. And sometimes we're doing 20 chews, but it's not enough to break that meat down small enough, especially if you're a surgery patient. Okay. Remember that. Let's go. Good evening, Flavor of Bongo. How are you? Okay. Are we ready? It's that time. We're on July 5th because we're doing a good job. How you, baby? We're doing a good job. We're doing a good job. Guess what day it is? Y'all not even going to believe it. It's day 200, period. 200 days. Me and you, we've been showing up doing the do. Me and you, we've been showing up doing the do. Day 200, boo. Okay. So, July 5th is our date, okay? So I'm going to go on over there in the books, okay? We made it on into July. We thank God for that. I do. Because, man, I'm telling y'all, if you knew, if you knew what was happening in these pictures. If you knew my story make you shout for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not bragging on me, I'm bragging on God. Listen to what I just said. The story that what God has done will make you shout for me, for God, because of the power of what God has done. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, oh, I'm shout for me. I'm saying it'll make you shout to praise God because of the testimony. If you only knew even 5 seconds of it. Because when I tell you God is still doing it, he's still doing it and keep doing it. But what happens is after he brings us so far, we won't let him bring us further. And sometimes it takes further surrender to get deeper into it. You can surrender enough to get to the door, but you might need to surrender more to get through the door. And sometimes we don't want to let all the way go of something in order to allow room for something new. A weight loss journey is not just about releasing weight. And that's the part that we've become delusional about. It's about releasing the weight of the mind and the body. So many of you are jumping back and forth in weight loss situations, issues, and circumstances. And it's primarily because you don't want to do the real work. And that work is hard, and I get it. Who wants to work on their thoughts, thinking, emotional growth, and well-being? Nobody. But when weight is involved, it's almost mandatory to get that, or it just becomes a consistently struggle. And you're looking at somebody who works in the behavioral health and mental health industry for years, retired. And then someone whom almost ate herself to oblivion. So see, I'm not just coming to you with educational knowledge and losing 100 pounds and keeping it off. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and it's been a battle. It's been a war with my brain. I'm always at war with my thoughts. Hi, Noreen. How are you? Oh, I'm missing so many comments. Let me check what I missed. Yes, straight chaser chewing. It does. Okay, Elaine, it makes sense. Okay, I wish there was something I could just chew on with no calories. What you said, well, and you know what? When I was younger, I used to chew ink pens and stuff because I had to chew like this top. I would have devoured this top. This top would not be able to go back on here. I'd have to drink all this because I'd be done chewed up the top. I always hold carbonation a little bit so it doesn't make my stomach feel funny. Thank you guys so much for likes. I appreciate you. Okay, are we ready? Let's do it. Let's get it done so we can go to bed, and I'll meet you tomorrow. It's 8:48 in Arizona, 8:43 actually. day 200. Thank you for joining me on day 200. If you don't know me, I'm Coach Kenya. I used to weigh 592 pounds. And one of the things I learned on my journey is that fear was one of my biggest barriers. I was always afraid of something, afraid of holding on, afraid of letting go, afraid of going ahead, afraid of going fear. And because I know the power that fear can have over people's lives and they don't know it, about, I don't know, really more like 215 days ago, I decided to start coming live and sharing 2 of the books that I read and have been reading for years off and on to help with my mindset. Because I didn't just lose 470 plus pounds, I've actually maintained about 468 of it because I weigh 157 and I weighed 592. And so what I'm trying to explain is I didn't get no skin or nothing removed. Even my skin doesn't look like I weigh that much. But one of the things that really made me get my body together was my mind. I had to become willing to learn more about what my body needed to function better. It wasn't only about my journey that I needed to know to do, but I needed to actually grow in knowledge and access. I needed to gain an understanding of what it meant to actually eat healthy, live a healthy lifestyle, and be nutritious. Living on a keto diet or some form of dieting is actually not a healthy lifestyle. Like, it's not nutritious. I'm meaning like you want to be able to enjoy, but you don't want to be so stricken and bound to where you feel like you're going to be on a punishment if you go eat a cookie. And then you feel like you got to go eat it in a corner. Yep, get the mind right. Everything else follows. And you know what's so crazy? I tell people I literally worked in behavioral health and I study the brain, you guys. I couldn't break my own brain from this thing. Like, I couldn't. I tried. And I thought, oh, thank you. Oh, you don't have to do that. You can just hang out here. You don't have to do any of that. I wouldn't ask you to spend money to do that. We're just talking and sharing information so people can grow and really get this mind part thing, because it's really hard. And the truth is, there aren't resources that all of us really need to go get the therapy we need to really deal with our eating issues. Because everybody with an eating issue isn't overweight. That's how you know it's really the outside of us that's affecting the inside of us that makes the result be our weight. So thank you guys so much for the love and the follows. I appreciate you. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything. I don't ever want people to feel like you have to give me for me to share with you or to love on you or to give you knowledge to help you grow. It's free. Well, it's free for me. So you got to pay from sometimes like at conferences and stuff. And I pay for stuff like that too. Don't get me wrong. But I just want you to come and listen. Plus, I might say something and you need to write a note. How you going to write the note if you tap in the thing? You know, just tap in enough so maybe I'll come up on your FYP or something. I think they told me one time. But I know some people, you got to get those daily heart meets, so that's okay. But you don't have to do nothing else. You can just hang out with me, okay? Okay, so as I was saying, so what I learned is if people could understand the triggers so if you look at grooming, people hear the word grooming and they think of it like outside, but you can actually groom yourself to restrict or overeat. And so when we learn what we're doing, then we could stop it. Most of us don't know because we have justifiable reasons for eating one meal a day, not eating all day because of our circumstances, but it doesn't mean it's good for us. So what has to happen is we have to then adjust our lifestyle to our health. Do you understand? I mean, it's not just something we do till we get to a point, it's something we begin to do forever. Do you understand? Okay. Day 200, because I don't want to I don't know. I get back to the feel great crawl road. Am I saying it right? Oh, no problem not. Carol, you came back. Hi, Felicia. How are you, beautiful? Okay, you ready? Here we go. Day 200. This is one of my favorite books, you guys. This is David Komalafi. He's a pastor, I don't even know if I've been saying their names right. I just know that I love they 2 books. So we got 365 days to fear not. Because if you want to get free, you got to get free mind, body, and soul. So you got to start getting the fear out. Because fear makes it hard not to walk in our truth. Because we would be scared. And when you're scared, you can't walk in yourself. You're walking in like a facade of who you are. Do you understand? Okay. So anyway, let's do it. It is written, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy and faith. These you ought to have done without leaving others undone. Matthew 23:23, double digits. Fear makes you neglect weightier matters and dwell on minor ones. Oh, this is true. If you're scared of something, you do all the easy stuff, but you won't do the hard stuff. So like if you want to make a business, you will make the stuff that you could sell, but you won't start the business because you think that's harder. But what's harder is to make the stuff. But you don't know that because fear got you thinking that to run a business is hard because you've seen so many people run a business and watch them struggle. But you got to realize that Sam Walden and everybody, Nike and all of them looked exactly like that. The difference in the people you've seen in your media community and those people is that they kept going even when they wanted to quit. And so then we miss out on these opportunities of becoming the best version of ourselves because we can't get past the fear of the unknown. Well, you already in a situation you don't want to be, and you might as well go somewhere you don't know. The stuff you know ain't working for you now. But we got to quit being scared. We're even scared to tell our truth when somebody hurt our heart. We'll walk around with our hearts broken into our pieces. We'll be around somebody every time we see them, we'll be ready to cry. But we can't tell them because fear has us thinking if we tell them how we really feel, it'll break something that we can't get back. But the thing is, the longer you go, the more hurt that person's going to be that you didn't tell them. Then it's going to be crazy because you're going to actually then be double offended when they say, well, I'm hurt that you didn't tell me. And you're going to say, well, I was hurt when you did it. There are 2 hurt people. When you had 1 hurt person, you could have healed easy. And you know what? Never mind. I said, I don't think we should judge what people think they need to get to their start. But because we know their tools, what we do is start educating people on how to sustain it. It's that easy. Do you understand? It's like that easy, but nobody wants to put the energy their way. Like, am I missing something? Like, if you know you emotional eating, what you doing sitting around here not getting no kind of mindset coaching, therapy, group support, or nothing? You literally know you have an emotional eating disorder. Like, you know it. You tell the world, talk to the world about it. Why won't you just get help? Like, who says you can't get help for? Where? That's written somewhere? Because I haven't seen it. Because I actually got help. So if it's written somewhere, can someone like maybe inbox it to me? Because I haven't seen it. I've seen it nowhere say that we're not allowed to get help for whatever issues that we feel are causing our lives to be more challenging. Is it written somewhere? Where? Where? Because nobody showed it to me. So all my life I had to fight. No, all my life I've basically been to therapy off and on since I was like 13 years old. So to me, I think we have a right. We deserve it. We deserve the opportunity to go speak with someone who can stand in a biased space and hear all sides of our story, even so they can allow us an ability to empty without judgment. Who says we can't? Where is it written? Find it. Inbox it to me. You inbox it to me where it's written where we're not allowed, and I'll stop providing people a safe space to do exactly that, get well. Because what I learned was that women would lose the weight, but as soon as something emotional happened, they couldn't keep on the journey. They would start eating and gaining it back, and they would say, "Well, I got real stressed out." It would be the first statement. I got injured and I was bored, so I was stuck sitting down. It was always like something happened to make, like it's like it cut on something. Well, what if we had in place coping skills so when those things happen, we knew that food wasn't even an option that we pursue for coping? But we gotta go work with somebody to get there. Oh well. I receive grace to be sensitive both to minor and major issues of my life in the name of Jesus. Power to do it all, to do it right, I receive in the name of Jesus. David Kovalafi. Power to do it right in the name of Jesus. That's powerful. But I actually don't think you even have to do it necessarily right or wrong. I think when it comes to weight loss, because it's so intricate and obesity is so psychologically damaging and people don't even realize it. I think that any person who's ever been overweight, and even if it's been overweight and displeasing to them, I think they have a right to talk about it. I think that people make comments and they don't realize that it's cutting in our soul, but we've learned to deal with this, so we don't even say nothing no more. Okay. Do you understand? July 5th. Become excited about life. I woke up one morning and found myself in a strange place. Instead of waking up to pain, I felt a new feeling coursing through my veins. I felt happy, at peace, and excited about being alive. This feeling had come around before, but never to stay or last. Now I knew that it was mine for good. It was where this journey had led. Let excitement course through you. It is vitality. It is vitality. It is healing, life-giving energy. It is the life force. Feel its course through your veins. This excitement you are feeling is different from the pain of years past. It is a different feeling. But your birthright, my birthright, the birthright of all of us, it is your reward for staying committed to your process of learning and growing. Continue to clear out old negative feelings and outdated beliefs. Stay committed to healing and discovering your soul, even when you wonder if it's worth it. Even when you wonder where your path is going or if it's going anywhere. Love yourself, love others, then love yourself some more. Love yourself until you feel the life force. This exciting new energy course through you. Sorry, keep going. Stay committed to your growth process until you wake up one morning and ask yourself, what is that strange thing I'm feeling? Then know what the answer is. The answer is joy. Wow. I said become excited about life. I love that. I love that. Because I think we get so used to just doing the same thing every day that we forget to stop and to just take a deep breath and just tell ourselves how loved we are by ourselves. I think we just forget. Like when the last time you took both of your hands, did like this and actually loved and squeezed yourself like for real, like in real life, real time. I just think the world that we live in doesn't teach us to really self-soothe, to calm ourselves down or anything. So I think that when there's an issue with eating, I think it makes it double hard because the coping skill is already difficult to obtain. So then you add food becoming a coping skill, now you got one of the things that you can't be without as one of your coping skills to live through the life that you're in. It's like, hey, hi peaches pie, how are you, beautiful? Like, hey, hi tulips approved. Like Do you understand? So I'm just in these streets I'm in these streets sharing with first myself this revelation, I guess, of if I don't stay consistently focused on my mind, then it's so much easier for me to get off track. It's easy for me to get sidetracked, to get into the what the crowd is doing, kind of say. If I don't stay consistent in my mind, I'll become consistently a part of the crowd. So I'll always be on a journey, up a journey, on a journey. Because in weight loss, remember we're talking about weight loss. In weight loss, not only is fear for hello Solan, as I said, not only is fear like hard, but then you got this pressure to meet a goal. So you got this mindset that's doubling down. You got this chewing issue that's in the background. Now you got this pressure externally telling you it ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna last. Why you doing it? It ain't even good for you. But they haven't been there. They don't know your struggle. They don't know the late nights, the dark moments, and the sensitive hours that you've dealt with your weight alone, in the dark, quietly, try not to bother anyone so they don't throw it in your face. I know that because I've lived it. I've lived it, so I know it. So I don't. I can talk to you what it feels like to lose 5 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, 450, 460, 470, 471, 472, 473, 474. A little bit of 475 and 478 on the side with from some 479. And then I'll teach you how to find your healthy weight zone and stay with it. Because it's actually natural to fluctuate in weight. My nephew got on the scale when he had his cell phone, the door keys, a piece of paper, and his jacket and shoes on. And the scale said he was 140. He took off his jacket, his shoes, his keys, and his cell phone, and the scale said he weighed 130. That's 100. That's 100. That's 10 pounds difference based on things that was on, right? So what I try to explain to people, I want you to think about those 10 pounds of clothes, like gravity, stress, and things like fluctuation and water gain. Okay? So when you consider those factors, now you can understand why your weight might not move sometimes and sometimes it does. Okay? So there are some things that you begin to learn about your body in the process. And as you're learning them, it will enhance your knowledge and you'll begin to use that to become powerful for yourself. Yeah. I like to do like learn more. Like I like to go look at stuff to learn about digestion and temperatures of food and all that kind of stuff and metabolic breakdown rate based on cold food and hot food. I love it. Because every time I find out new information, I get to bring that to my girls so they can grow and learn. You know, it's really about a learning process. You don't just wake up and stop emotional eating. Come on. That's not even rational for the most rational person. But with diligence, you showing up every day, doing the steps, following a system that works for my lifestyle, I can show up as a winner. And I may actually stumble a couple of times on the way and have to get up and start over, but I'm going to get there. And it's because mostly I see my future in the palm of my pen. And I refuse to not achieve it. So with that being said, I tell you that tonight, I want you to, when you're resting, I want you to think about all the things that God has allowed to happen for you. Not to you, but for you. The things that have allowed you to grow and become who you are today and where you think God is taking you. I want you to meditate on that as you sleep tonight. And the third thing I want you to consider and think about is what you could do different to elevate your life. What could you change? What could you go harder on? What could you focus more in on? And then when you figure out what it is, I want you to write it down. And then I want you to report back here tomorrow, because I'm going to tell you what to do tomorrow with what you write down. You hear me now? And I'm going to go. I was going to let my niece do my makeup, but I'm pretty sleepy. So I'm going to try to get this makeup done and let her do it. But then I'm going to go in and go to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow now, yeah? Now, you don't be nervous and worried. I know you're probably worried about getting the weight off, and it's going to be okay. We're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep digging into our emotional and mental sobriety and allow ourselves an opportunity to grow, to develop. And then we're going to learn some coping skills every night. Like tonight, I taught you about chewing and the difference between chewing meats and solids and sauce. There's a difference. So you got to know that. In order to know that, oh God, baby, thank you. NYC Ladybug. You got to know that, because some people don't know you can't bite the food and swallow it on the third bite. Some people don't know that food is sitting in their stomach whole still because they didn't chew it down enough for the digestive tract to break it down. They don't know that. Some people don't know if they turn around and check their poop, they got whole pieces of meat in their poop because they didn't chew it up. So you got to be willing to do the work in order to achieve and sustain healthy results. You got to make sure those bowels are functioning good. And you got to eat regularly and do right by it. None of these procedures and stuff say starvation is supposed to be the backup tool to enhance weight loss, although many people do it because you could lose more weight. But if it's about being healthy, why are you rushing to a finish line or somewhere you can't stay any daggone way? Huh? All right, have a good night. I love you. See you tomorrow. Get some sleep. It was late. It's late to go to bed. It's late.